All right, guys, welcome back. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to connect your Jobber account to your Quo account through the Quo integration that they have set up with Jobber. Quo, in case you're not familiar, is an app-based VoIP business phone. So this is a digital phone that lives on your current personal phone as an app. That way you don't have to have two phones. They've got all kinds of great features. They've been an amazing partner for this channel. They've sponsored one of our HCC retreats. They're sponsoring the inaugural class of Founders and Fathers Technical College. Thank you, by the way, Quo, for that. But more importantly, they have a great product. In fact, their product is so great, I use it for the Founders and Fathers website, and I was doing that before I ever even met them. And I use it for Bulletproof Handyman. If you go to the description of this video or any of my videos, you're going to find my Quo business phone number for Bulletproof Handyman. So they have a connector to Jobber, and I'm going to tell you before I show you how to do the connector, I'm going to tell you why that connector is valuable. Here's what the connector is going to do. If you connect your Quo account to your Jobber account, every time you get a phone call from a potential client, what it's going to do is it's going to go into your Jobber account. It's going to check the phone number that called you against your current client list. And if the phone number that called you is not in your current client list, it's going to create a placeholder client for you inside Jobber. And then it's going to attach the transcripts and/or summary of the transcript from that call to that request. It's going to make the client, it's going to create the request, it's going to attach everything to the request for you so that tomorrow or whenever it is that you sit down at your computer to start going through all your administrative work, you can go to your new requests and you can see which of them are actually good, solid leads for new clients, and you can convert those into jobs. But Quo is going to take care of that boring grunt work of actually creating the client and attaching the transcripts and all the initial information. Then you can get back in touch with the client. Then you can open up that request, actually convert it into a job, and move that client through your pipeline. Now, Quo also has a virtual AI receptionist named 𝗬𝗪, and 𝗬𝗪 can answer your Quo phone. If you have 𝗬𝗪 answering your Quo phone, you do actually get a few more extra perks because you can give 𝗬𝗪 some intent information. And what that means is you can tell 𝗬𝗪, in this situation, I do want you to create a new request. And in this situation, I do not want you to create a new request. Or you can give her other intent, like if it's this situation, go ahead and forward that call all the way up to me on my personal phone or forward it to some other phone number. But I guess what I'm trying to get around to saying is that if you use 𝗬𝗪, you're going to be able to give her some intent information so she can make some better decisions for you. But even without 𝗬𝗪, don't worry, even if you're not using 𝗬𝗪, it'll still make a new request for every phone call so that you can just go into Jobber, open up all your requests, see which one of them are legitimate good leads that you're going to follow up on, and ultimately convert those into jobs. And then those call transcripts and summaries will follow that from the request to the quote, to the job, to the invoice. They stay attached all the way through. And of course, something else you're going to find in the description of this video and all of my videos is going to be a link that you can use to go visit Quo and check out the product they have to offer. And if I haven't mentioned this 1,000 times in the past, guys, I'm never, ever, ever asking you to purchase anything for me or for this channel. If you want to help out, all I'm asking you to do is to go check out what product or service these guys have to offer. Quo offers a great product and a great service. I'd like you to go check them out. Use my link to go check them out. That's how they know that they're doing a good job sponsoring this channel and making it possible for me to deliver to you all of the value that I deliver to you. And if it turns out you agree with me and you do think that Quo is the best product for your business, then by all means purchase it. And if you don't, that's okay, guys. I still love you and I still want you to succeed. And you know what? So does Quo. Now, one last caveat that you need to know before we dive into actually demonstrating how to make this connector work, and that's going to be that you do have to have the business plan with Quo. So now let's come over here and go ahead and hook this up, and don't worry, this is going to be the easiest connector you've ever integrated into any platform. All right, guys, so the first thing you're going to do over here is you're just going to make sure that you're logged into Quo before you go over to Jobber. That's the pretty easy part. Make sure you're logged in. Come over here into Jobber, and what you're going to do is scroll all the way down the left down here to where it says Apps, and you're going to click on that and open up the apps. And once you're inside Apps, let's just do a quick search for Quo. Search Apps. There's Quo right there. Go ahead and click on Quo. And when you click on Quo, you're going to click Connect. And then you're going to click Allow Access. And And over here in Quo, you can now see that Sync AI call summaries and transcripts with Jobber is now turned on. You can click disconnect if you want. Under phone numbers, if you have multiple Quo numbers, you'll be able to select which numbers you want to be able to do that integration. And that's it, guys, you're done. So to reiterate, what's going to happen now is if you're not using Sona, then when somebody calls, only inbound calls to your Quo number, if you're not using Sona, what it's going to do is check that number for an existing client and an existing open request. If there's an existing open request, it's going to add that call summary and or transcript to that existing open request. Now, if it recognizes the number, but there's not an existing open request, then it's going to create a new request for you. And if it doesn't recognize the number, it's going to create a new placeholder client and a new request for you. The part that Quo can't do for you that you're going to have to do is go and check all of those requests, figure out which ones are good, high-quality, legitimate leads, and move them through your lead pipeline. But Quo took care of the initial part of creating that placeholder client and starting up that request. Now, if you use Sona, which is their virtual AI receptionist, Sona can be given some intent information, which is just going to affect whether or not she actually creates that request for you or not. She's going to save you a little bit of time by not creating requests out of low quality or non-lead phone calls. Now, if you'll allow me to, I want to take a moment to tell you why I really think you should consider Quo. And number one, I already mentioned, is because I think it's actually a really great service. I'm already a Quo customer twice over now, and I was a Quo customer before I ever had any contact with them that had anything to do with sponsorship of this channel. I just found their product to be the best product to suit my needs. But the number two reason is actually a more important reason for me, and that's because they've become a member of this community. Because, guys, you have to make decisions in life sometimes about where you want to spend your money. Because when you spend your money, it's like voting. You're deciding where resources go by deciding where you're going to spend your money. And wherever the most resources go, those are the places that are going to succeed. Now, I want you to imagine a hypothetical Quo competitor. Maybe they're $28 a month instead of $33 a month, and across the board, it's an equal service. That doesn't exist, by the way. Quo really is. I've done the research. They're the best product for what you're trying to do. But let's hypothetically say there was a $28 a month competitor to Quo's $33 a month. You need to consider companies like Quo because Quo has reached out and supported this community. They've sponsored a HCC retreat, and I can promise you, although they are going to get some ROI from that sponsorship, they're not going to make more money off of that sponsorship than what they spent. They did it to be a part of the community. Same thing with this Founders and Fathers Technical College. September 1st through 5th, I'm flying in Jack, Mark, and Ricky. I'm paying for their airfare. I'm putting them up at the Handyman headquarters, which is a very nice new rental with new beds and new kitchen stuff, new everything. Set this whole house up for them. And then I'm going to spend 3 days with them, diving really deep into their businesses and then flying them home and paying for all the room and board while they're here. Except I can't really say that I'm doing it because right now who's doing it is Quo. Quo sponsored that first class. And again, they're not going to get an ROI from this. They're not going to make more money, even in the long run, than what they've spent. What Quo wants to do is they want to become involved with channels like ours and communities like ours, and they want to actually just show their support for the industry that they're selling their product into. And as far as I'm concerned, you can't buy a better partner than that. So once again, I'm never going to ask you guys to purchase anything for me or to purchase anything just because somebody sponsors this channel and makes all of this possible. What I am going to ask of you is to simply go check them out and see if they're right for your business. If they're not right, stop in and tell them thank you for at least sponsoring this community and just let them know that they're not quite right for you. They're not going to be offended. And if they are the right product, then go ahead and make your purchase. But other than that, I love you guys. I hope you're out there killing it. Go to the description of this video or any of my other videos. Click on that link. Go visit them. I love you guys. I hope you're out there killing it, and I'll see y'all on the next one.